Taking a 32 gigabyte Swineapple image that we already loved and turning it into a 64? What's not to like? All right, this is the 64 gigabyte Swineapple image. This is coming from Wolfanza, Wolfanos, and it's an expanded 64 off the original 32 Swineapple. It has a ton more themes installed on it. It did have a ton of different introduction videos. I'll show you some of those. And then it did have a ton of MP3 files as well, from like Wii music to SNES music, a lot of classic retro gaming music. So if you like that stuff, it does come pre-done. I've disabled it for this video, but if you want to do that, it's very easily done. Starting off, total games on here, it's around 6,900 games. This is running a new version of RetroPie, 6901. You have a lot of custom collections. Arcade, you're looking at 1142, Atari 2600, 306, 7857, Daphne, 9, Dreamcast, 2. The 2 there are just Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Family Disk System, 79. Game & Watch, 56. Game Gear, 255. Game Boy, 554. Game Boy Advance, 989. Game Boy Color, 528. MAME, 1 game. I wonder why this is even in here. Okay, Super Mario Brothers Verse. Sega Master System, 270. Sega Mega Drive, 571. Also known as Genesis. Nintendo 64, only 35. Love the Bad Fur Day reference, though. And we do have video snaps. So it goes from a picture to a video snap, which is cool. Neo Geo 140, NES 777, Neo Geo Pocket 8, Neo Geo Pocket Color 37, PC Engine 94. Ports, you got 8. What do you got here? Okay, cool. Got a bunch of Quake mods installed. That's nice. Quake 1, Quake Dimensions of the Past, Quake Disillusion of Eternity, Quake Scourge of Armageddon. Okay, so cool. These are typically keyboard mouse games, and then you have your Pixel as well. So that's cool that those are installed. PlayStation got 29 games total. Alien Trilogy, Castlevania, Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, 3, Destruction Derby, Diablo, Die Hard Trilogy, Duke Nukem, Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy 7, Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2, Intellivision, Metal Gear Solid, NFL Blitz, Parappa the Rapper, Rampage 2. You know they're making a movie, Rampage the movie. Road Rash 3D, Silent Hill, Star Wars Dark Forces, awesome game. Street Fighter EX2, Tekken 3, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, WWF Attitude. Moving along, Sega 32X 31, Sega CD 6, so only 6 here. Got Batman, Earthworm Jim, Sonic the Hedgehog, The Terminator. SG 1000 62, SNES 763, Vectrex 80, Virtual Boy 22, and then now you're going to get all your collections. So Capcom games, Castlevania games, CPS 1, 2, and 3, Donkey Kong games, Final Fantasy collections, Mario, Mega Man, Metal Slug, Super Metroid, Mortal Kombat, Sonic, Super Street Fighter, Williams Classics games, Zelda games, and then custom collections. You have an NES Mini, which isn't complete, an SNES Mini. You do have Star Fox 2. Seems the NES Mini is... I thought there was more games in this. So, that one's a little messed up, but whatever. All games. As I mentioned a lot, what's on the favorites. Afterburner 1, 2, Batman the arcade game. Berserk arcade. A lot of arcade games in here. Almost like all of them. No, not all of them. That's cool, because arcade there was like over 1,000 games, so maybe this is just an easier way to get in there. Star Wars Rogue Squadron, Shinobi, Shaq Fu. Escape from the... oh yeah, that was a good one. Okay, so you have favorites. It is running a newer version of RetroPie. You do get screensavers, and like I said, when you go into the into the individual collections, you not only see the box art, but it turns into the video art, which is beautiful. And I mean, this is not a big deal, but you do have all of your themes installed. Swine Apple is not yet released to the public. Phil's Doodle said eventually he will be releasing it. He also has a Stranger Things that he's working with Minty Pie, and that Minty Pie is going to be releasing some sort of cart to go along with it. So that will be announced, and then these themes should be then brought down to the public. So expect to wait till probably early January, I would imagine. But here's the Swine Apple. It's hard to get a hold of otherwise. And I'm having a little trouble with this with the theme just because there's so many themes installed on this image and I haven't restarted. But it should look like this. You shouldn't have any of these black things. Okay, and then once you go in, you have your game titles and previews. So I did kind of want to check out this Quake game really quick. Let's plow him down. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh. Oh boy. There's snakes in here. I was electrified by an eagle. Okay, great. All right, so you got all the Quakes, you got your Dooms, you got your Wolfenstein 3Ds, PlayStation. All really great games. Grand Theft Auto being a classic. I mean, come on. Oh boy, here we go. Get out of my way. I think we can jump over this bridge. Oh, there's a gun right here. Armor. Jump the bridge, baby. Oh, almost made it. All right, so here you have it. This is the Swine Apple 64 gigabyte. Looking great. Really, really good collection of games. I mean, you have a couple, your Daphne, which isn't included on a lot of things. I know the arcade set was all tested out, so it's like a good, solid arcade set. Not a lot of games you don't necessarily want, not a lot of fluff. Do you get those video snaps, which are taking up a ton of space, and that's why you can't put more on here, like the Sega CD of the limited collection there, and the Nintendo 64. But there's quite a bit of PlayStation games installed on here. So that's kind of nice that you don't see everywhere else. It does have bezels. It does have custom loading screens for the Swine Apple. Came with music. Came with introduction videos. So really a lot of great stuff there. As far as the N64 collection, I mean, there's still a lot of the great ones on here. And it's better than a lot of other ones that don't include, you know, barely anything. I'm glad there's Mario Kart and Zelda. Those are usually my go-tos. There's a couple on here that, you know, I wish were on here, like Mickey Mouse Speedway is a great game that's not on here. GoldenEye lags a ton. I don't know why it's on here. You know, just maybe the selection of N64 games might change a little bit. The other thing I might do is on the Game Boy Advance, on the bezel, is not stretch it out so far. Right now it's like a full, it's full screen, which stretches the image a little bit. Game Boy Advance wasn't really meant to be that big, so if you actually reduce the size of the bezel, and like you've seen some of the other images I've reviewed where they do that, it makes it look just even better. There is some old school stuff on here like Famicom and Game & Watch and some older systems, which is nice to see those as well. And then it is up to date to boot, to add all to all of it. So other thing I mentioned earlier was, you know, all the themes are pre-installed. You can do screensavers, many different options like that. So Taking the 32 gigabyte, which I already highly regarded, and just adding to it, you really can't go wrong there. But as I've been playing with it, I found little things, little tweaks that I might do. But let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna have to give this one an A. I mean, for the 64 gigabyte, it'd probably be in my top 3 somewhere for sure. And let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Feeling. When you decide to get serious, there's only one place to come. The games of Super Nintendo. No one else creates this kind of experience, because no one else creates these kinds of games. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
All right, if you did want to disable the music, go to File Manager from RetroPie menu, and then that should boot up. And then on the main screen here, there's a folder that says BGM, and that's the directory with all your music. You can go ahead and hold down Shift and down, and then highlight things yellow. Once they're highlighted yellow, that means you have them selected. And then click F8 to delete, and it's going to ask, are you sure? Say yes, and then you got to restart the Pi after that, and that should disable all the music.